Welcome back to the Anfield boot room. I will start this with a quick apology as I have a slight cough slash cold situation going on. So I'm not the strongest at the whole talking right now, and I am very strong in the coughing department. Um, so that may affect what is forthcoming. However, we will charge on regardless. It is the opening of the 2024-2025 season. We start as ever these days with a Community Shield and European Super Cup double, which we obviously have to win, otherwise life is pointless. I think I will start with some transfer business. We have the usual um, tumult of youth players coming in for very low amounts. One guy there for 5 million. I missed out on him first time round, and then I signed him second time round, and he's fine. Any particular highlights on the buying end? It's worth noting that the fans are upset with me for buying someone from Chelsea, Man United, and Everton. Even if they were to become the best player in the world, the fans are still upset. So anyway, I've spent nearly 32 million quid, which is fine. And then I've had the usual sort of clear out. So 14 million for Luis Santos, he's fine. Lots and lots of loans, which is good. 37 million for Oliveira. I thought I'd focus more on not strengthening my rivals because I realised that will be a downfall. But and so I was actually genuinely willing to accept lower bids from foreign clubs, which I have done in a few scenarios. But this one, 37 million for Oliveira. He's 23. I don't think he's going to get that much better. I don't think he's that good. Somehow he got a work permit despite having no caps for Brazil, and I think that's just going to make them look very, very silly, which is good. As they did recently with Maxi Meyer, who they bought off me for 35 million. He played about 30 games for them over the course of about 4 seasons, and they just released him, and I laughed and I laughed. So hopefully this will be similar. All right, so Oliveira, Alex went off for 60 million quid. It's not a case of not liking him. I like him a lot. It's not a case of him not being very good. He is very good. It's just a case of me having better players on the left wing, in the shape of Milton, and the backup for Milton being Zeluiz, who is very, very good. And yeah, then if you've got two world class players in a position, you don't really need three world class players in a position. He played for PSG last season. He played very well, and so they snapped up the 60 million pound punt that I put out, so that was quite good. 50 million for Luis Benitez. He barely registered on my radar. Nicolas Ibanez, I've been a fan of for quite some time because he's 6'5" and he's immense in the air, and I always like that sort of crushing, inevitable, all-conquering aerial power. But he looks real good and he plays real good, to use English improperly. And he is, of course, a towering centre back, model professional, good, all round good guy, but not as good as my other alternates, basically. But 40 million, yes, please, and thank you. Right, 32 million for Ramon Arque. He's really good. Obviously, he's one of the best, most competent defensive players in the whole world. Which, it's painful to sell him, but he's 26 and he started played 9 games, or 8 games starting, 8 games the season before. He's only ever been a filling in the gaps player for me, even though I've liked him. He's not quite as good as everyone else, and hence he leaves. Ogun Odobasi, I'm sad to see leave because he's genuinely excellent. He's an excellent goalkeeper. There's an absolute steal at 6 million quid. But he's not quite as good as my other goalkeepers. So there we go. This is the pattern here we're establishing fairly early on. Renan Morera, 40 million. He's another one who I thought I can probably let him go, and he won't go on to be an Arsenal legend. He's fine, and he plays well. He's played well out on loan. But 40 million quid, and no one else was offering anywhere near that. So I was like, yeah, I love that. But yeah, there's been a few other guys who I've thought, no, you're actually good, so you're going abroad. Stath has gone out for 30 million quid. He always promised to be a world-class player. He never quite delivered. He was always getting injured, so never playing loads of games. He's only ever played kind of okay. Obviously, he did well for West Ham there, but I think he broke his leg or some cruciate nonsense. So 30 million quid, fair play. 36 million for Alexander Usmanov, who just won the Italian player of the French player of the year, sorry, when he was on loan at Olympique Lyon. Yeah, he's bloody good as well. Whoops. Whoa. I just clicked a load of things. So he's bloody good. Big matches, consistent, good player. Obviously very, very technically good, pretty mentally good, and reasonable physically. But yeah, again, just falling a little bit short. So 36 million. I could have got more off Man City, but I decided that he might actually do some damage. Vivaldo going for 28 million. That's fine by me, not bothered at all. Catalin Dogaru was maybe going to be the kind of the next Divock Origi. But again, he's 22 now, and he's not quite got there. Obviously, you can see why the comparison might be made, because he's real good. But I've worked out my succession planning for when Origi becomes slow and incapable. And it doesn't include Dogoro, so 35 million is fine, thank you, please. Czech Frank went out for 20 million pounds. He's never quite been as good as I thought he was going to be. He scored a lot of goals in the Championship, and that apparently means that he's worth 20 million quid. So I don't mind that. Tarcisio out for 23 million pound. That, in my view, is a steal because he is great. And so leading Premier League player, big matches, fairly consistent. But I couldn't even register him last season, so he didn't play at all. He just sat there because I couldn't sort a loan for him either. So what's the point of that? Answer: there's no point. Ilana going out for, what was that, 34 million? Yeah, he's just been on loan. He's been pretty decent in the Premier League, but he doesn't quite, despite them saying he's really good, he doesn't quite match up to my other defensive midfield options. So he's gone. Juanma. Oh my goodness. So this was what, 32 million pound. He's really, really good in consistent and big matches, but again, he just doesn't quite compare. So for instance, Strong Pete, who is the worst of my three supporting centre backs, is he younger than him, is better than him. So that's why that happens. And then you can see the wage. Obviously, he has a market value that justifies that, and the 32 million pound that I got for him. But yeah, there's no point in him sitting around waiting. Rubens Fernando, 20 million quid. He's quite good. I bought him when he was going to be a proper legend, and he never quite got there. Still plays nicely, very consistent guy, and we turned a bit of a profit on him, so no complaints there. 23 million for Ferraroni. Again, he was one who I've had to swallow on the fee a bit, because I could have got more for him, but he would have gone to a rival club. He's really competent defender. Not quite the only thing I would ask him more on is the jumping and or heading ability, because he's quick and physically able, mentally consistent, and very good at anticipation, which is handy. So I'm sure he'll go on to have a good career at Real. Any more sellings? No. So that totaled up to 634 million quid out the door, compared to last season it was 749 million quid by the end of, I think that includes some stuff in January, so we'll see if I can match that by the end of the year. So that's all your transfers. So basically the plan of the squad, if I trot through that very quickly, is to have the ideal is 3 players for every position, 1 perfect player, 1 world class player, and 1 true youngster. So, for instance, the goalkeepers work out very nicely. So Wesley has emerged as the proper amazing player. Jorn Deckers is just behind him, if not as good as him. And then Turkish Bay is coming up the rear as the kind of amazing youngster who I can also blood. So in defence, it will look slightly messier. So you see the values fall off a cliff a bit. So you're going from like the 50 millions, the 20 millions, and then it's like 475k. But hopefully these will be the next generation of the beasts. That's what I'm going for. That's what I'm shooting at here. So there we go. So well, you'll see in my lineup who are the top dogs. Excuse me. Yeah, it's really helpful. Obviously, this game is a community shield, so it's not entirely serious. But loads of my players are on international duty, so that's nice and helpful. I've got like a whole back line and loads of defensive midfielders, all on international duty. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm fine with it. I'm also succession planning for Pogba, who's 31, and he's fine. So yeah, you've got the top line. Milton, Emiliano Heskey, Samir Vladimiros, Zeloui supporting as well, and then you've got the kids here: Miranda, Jaja, Telexter. Oh, God knows how you say that. And yes, so the strike force. Messi has retired. I did try and flog him at the end of the season. I did have a bid accepted. So he did some negotiations with Fulham, but then on almost every aspect of the contract, of course, he refused. And he did want to move away abroad, but no one came in for him, so he retired gracefully. So that's thinned down and brought my average age down by about 10 years. But yeah, so charging on into the game. Man United here. Man United have been, Allegri has done some renovations to the squad. They've signed Asensio, who's excellent. They actually, I was going to say, it says 17 million there, but I know it's like topping up to about 30 odd. Yassin Morale is decent in defence, as is Kim Jae-ha. I don't know why the likes of Tottenham, Everton and Chelsea are selling people to Man United, because they're basically equivalents. So, and it's not for massive profit or anything. But yeah, so a little bit disappointed, but fine. I will proceed to the match, and we'll see what the devil happens. Uche Hopkins thinks the game will be very close. It'll go down to a penalty shootout, and my centre midfielder and their centre midfielder will be missed. So that's fine. But I know it means nothing. If we perform as I know we can, we're going to get the result. So those are the two teams. I think the one question in my lineup was, well, I've got almost a reserve defence out because they're all bloody on their jolly international duty, as is Wesley, incidentally. But Tolnik or Arrillaga to start. Arrillaga has recently become a club legend. He's in the running to become the club captain, and he scored a hat full of goals last season. However, technically, Tolnik is a little bit better. So I don't know quite what to do with that. But we'll see how Tolnik plays in these sorts of games, and we'll see how that goes. Right. So I'm going to get hold of Timo Werner. Koke is fine there. Ali Roland, is he actually any good? Do I need to batter him? Oh, I can batter him, that's fine. Sergi Samper will get battered. Asensio will get battered. Sistoni get battered. Routledge, you can close him down but don't batter him. And Jurgic, you can close him down but don't batter him. What about the bench? What they got there? Jimmy Lynam, I know, is a good player. He's been wrecking it on loan. I've been keeping an eye on him, basically. And he's been doing really well in the lower leagues. João Rodrigues is a bit good. I don't know why I said that with a Rio accent. Also, he's like Colombian, so probably wouldn't be said like that at all. And Pablo Dybala, he's rather good as well. Oh, excuse me. Right. Just lump expectations on them. Tallnick likes it. Good. Have a good game then, mate. I played him in the pre-season. Oh yeah, I should have shown you pre-season as well. I'll show you in a minute. Played him in pre-season on the left wing, and he got 5 assists somehow, which was very confusing. But yeah, he's absurdly good at crossing for a man who should only have been on the heading end of any crossing drills. But here he is out wide. Can we see that in action? No, apparently we can't. Fine. Boo. But yeah, just settling into the game. Man United, of course, have able players, fine players. Hopefully, they won't score some crosses from miles out for no reason, or free kicks. Asensio, he is good. He is good. As soon as I sold him for 35 mil to Tottenham, I did think, was that the right thing to do? He's not quite shown me. I think he might have scored a 1 or 2 against me once upon a time. Oh, well, this is looking bad. 10 minutes in, they've been dominating play. Memphis could have scored that. That would have been helpful. Tall Nick. Yes, lad. Justifying the old selection. Excellent. Well done, the old tall Memphis. Sound like Ronaldo before he takes a bloody corner. Tall Nick. Absolute. Literally went through the bloke on the line. Who's that? Pione Sisto. Okay, I don't know if that will come across on the recording, but the replay showed that it went through him, which he's got to be disappointed with that. Oh dear. Right. Oh, One-Ton Gill is a good player. Obviously, my succession planning for Pogba is a more prominent role for Hoyos, who is as good as, if not better than, One-Ton Gill. But I love One-Ton Gill in that left role because he's like jet powered. He just flies and wins the ball like he did right there. Well, he does shoot a lot, but he didn't do it there, so that's good. Yeah, so one time. Oh, yes! Wow, okay. I feel like that's a bit fluky, to be honest, but Memphis. Whoa, who did that go through then? He just hammers it. That's good. So after initially feeling under quite some threat, we've scored two goals in the first half hour, and that's all good. Right, I'm happy now. Good. One-Ton Gill flying into those challenges again. He is a defensive jetpack. Suquan can get sent off. Oh, wow. I think we can probably, I don't want to say relax, but we're 2-0 up and Man United have had a player sent off and there's an hour left. Oh, dear me. Ironically, their goalkeeper called Hope. Well, they don't have much in the rest of this game. Right, Tall Nick, smash one in, mate. Origi there, sweeping up the pieces, and that's another goal. Yeah, so a few of the lads have joined the They've joined me in the club of Liverpool legends. So Origi's in there, Aralaga's in there, I believe Memphis is in there. We'll have a check on it afterwards because I was looking at who will be competing with me for having the next stadium that we will at some point build named after them. I would really hate it to be one of my players, like the Aralaga Stadium. It's like, for God's sake, I found and then nurtured and then played that mug. So I'm obviously the most important. Right, don't let your lead drop. You can calm down. Avoid another booking. Everyone else is fine. Let's talk to the midfielders about doing some stuff, and the attackers about doing some stuff. Right. Does anybody need a rest? Is anybody screaming for a rest right now? No. We'll go to 60. We might bring on some of the lesser stars like Florian Vachka who was meant to be trialled, I think, a bit more than he was last season, but I think he did something like his cruciate ligament or Achilles or something. So missed months and months and months. But there we are. Ooh, interesting free kick routine that was not very successful. Thanks for that, guys. Must have worked on that on the training pitch. They've got Lynham on, who is a good player. Milton not getting another yellow card, which is useful for me. Dybala, right, let's see who they're playing up front. Currently, it's Dybala, so we're going to close. Let's mark him specifically. Hopefully we can freeze him out of the game by physically dominating him. Right, one-ton Gill, even win it in the air, despite the fact he's 5'7". It's good old stuff from the lads. Win it back. Yes, Pogba, who I don't think has become one of those. Excuse me, one of those very highly thought of players here at Liverpool. Despite the fact that his arrival hailed a new generation of Champions League winning teams, where I was like, sod this, I'm going to buy all the players I need. Rather than wait for it to happen naturally, I'm going to force Football Manager's hand. Right, 60 minutes in, let's have a little look at who's doing what. Milton, you can come off because you're on a yellow. I will bring on Ali Samir. Yeah. Or yeah, Ali Samir, why not? Who else? One-ton Gill can come off, Hoyos can come on. And that's about it. I'll maybe do in a little while. Oh, One-ton Gill's getting a yellow, hopefully. So he's coming straight off after that, so that's fine. Before it's even got registered. Asensio having another pop. Right, what are we doing here? Can we fizz the ball in? Oh, yes we can. And on that note, I will bring off Nicholas Sewell, put on Florian Vajka. I'll put him to the over. Oh no, actually, I'll tell you what. I'll put Strong Pete in the middle and Vajka on the right. So he's getting a little bit of cup final action at the tender age of about 18, I think he is. A brilliant goal from Vladimiros. Pogba squares it. Hoyos squares it. Vladimiros in acres smashes it. Hope had none, as we've discussed. All good. Right, excellent stuff. 4-0. Very comprehensive. Samir. That was nearly top corner bound. Cool. Right, well, we're really... Tall Nick, come on, mate. You're dreaming, aren't you? Just got to ride the rest of this game out. We've not kind of had a horrendous number of chances. We've just been very clinical. Wow, what a poor throw in there. You can see why Memphis doesn't usually take throw-ins. I don't know if you heard that from next door, but there was a shout through the wall that I heard, and I don't know why. Usually it's associated with football. I shouldn't think anyone's playing around about now, so I don't know what that was about. I'm not going to go around and ask either. I'll just remain curious. Alright, come on, Samir. No, I was going to say do your thing. He did no thing. That's fine. And Decker's keeping a clean sheet. That's good. Because he's fallen a little bit in my... He was my number one. And also, so a few things that I've found out also. So, I don't know if you guys will remember, but Decker's was very inconsistent, but as in he had the inconsistent marker. But okay, well done everyone. Sorry, I just won that cup final, so that's good. 1 down for the season. Assists from Memphis, who also got a goal. Tall Nick, a goal and assist as well. Excellent stuff. Brilliant stuff, guys. So yes, so what's his face? Jorn Deckers had the. I'll be able to show you this now as well. So let's have a little looky here. He had the inconsistent marker when I bought him, And then when you look at a normal coach looking at his overall profile, it doesn't appear. Then when you scroll through and look at the goalkeeping coaches, there it is. There's a goalkeeping coach. So the goalkeeping coach has identified him now as fairly inconsistent rather than properly inconsistent. So that is of interest to me, because it kind of shows it is declining at the age of 23, 24. So that's quite interesting. But obviously it is also kind of hidden, and it was reflected basically when I played him for a full season. That season, there you go, 37 games right there. He didn't have as good a rating as Wesley had in the kind of supporting function. So he did have the off game. But he's still obviously like unbelievable. But there's no real fault in his armory of goalkeeping skills. So, you know, I don't know if he has that level of a game. No, he's just a goalkeeper. But yeah, that's interesting. The other one that I have learned is I've thought this for a little while, and I've had a few instances where I could vaguely see it. But this one, out and out, if we go and we find Oscar Jimenez, where the bloody hell is he? There he is. He has got 1 inch taller. He was 6'6". He's now 6'7". And I know that for a fact. So, Football Manager players do grow. Where was the other thing? So on Wesley as well, if we go back to the old, put that loan thing on again. If we go back to, was it on Wesley or was it someone else? Basically, when I bought Wesley, in fact, both of these keepers, I bought them because they were such stunningly good keepers with such mad levels of cons. I thought, well, I'll buy them. I want them in my club, but we'll see. Wesley, whatever ones he had, I think he doesn't like big games, and so that's dropped off as well. So that can drop off. I've seen also with Zelouise. No, I clicked on the wrong thing there. Sorry. With Zelouise, so those basically all negative indicators can drop off if the player is good enough and gets the right experience at the right time or something. Zelouise is now a very consistent performer, which the only one I've ever seen of those before was Messi, and I think Ronaldo. But he was consistent previously, and he's now upped to very consistent, which is, I mean, a fair reflection on he's a good all-round player, so there's no reason why he shouldn't be consistent. So yeah, I just thought that was really interesting. Well, okay, it's sad, but interesting. That, you know, as well as, for instance, developing your weaker foot and all stuff like that, the players can lose, you know, I suppose as they can in real life. You know, when you say, for instance, I suppose in real life you can get it back as well. So, you know, I don't know. I've watched Match of the Day recently, and I was thinking Marko Arnautovic used to be the most wildly inconsistent player, and then it seemed like it clicked for him, and he was being consistently beastly for kind of like a season, maybe a season and a bit, and now he's gone back to his old ways of not being very consistent. So there we are. Same with injury proneness. You know, just one injury can lead to somebody becoming injury prone, like I suspect with Vladimir Us, but it's not reflected. But yeah, interesting stuff for me in this Football Manager world. So I hope you appreciate that insight and the level of knowledge that is, as a Liverpool lad, Guido Hoyos is no stranger to rivalry Man United. Oh, for God's sake. Right, okay. So let's do this press conference quick. Vladimir is great. Memphis is great. There we go. We won a load of things. Great stuff. Oh yeah, that was the other thing I wanted to look at. Excuse me. So in the legends, obviously Memphis is there, Arrillaga is there, Origi is there, and Sam Hamburger is there also. In the icons, you've got Balotelli, Carlos Baiano, Messi snuck in there, and Tall Nick after his ridiculous season a couple of seasons ago. Favoured personnel, Emiliano Heskey and Pogba. So quite a lot of the squad really. None of the defenders really getting that much of a shout out, to be fair. I mean, defensive midfielders as far back as we go. But yeah, people love strikers. It's sad, isn't it? So next up, we've got obviously the European Super Cup. So I will, if you forgive me a yawn, I will play on until then. Anderson set to go on loan with Lazio. Good, that's fine. Get him out the door. He will be one that I realised I was, giving new contracts to players who were never going to be in the first team, for instance. So he is an example of a player who is decent, has obviously world-class potential, injuries and fairly inconsistent, so not ideal, and has gone away on loan and done okay. So his contract runs out in 2 years. I'll get him back from what will probably be quite a successful loan and flog him off for upwards of 20 million, hopefully. If not, maybe it'll be the 40 million, but maybe his contract running out will reflect that it won't be that. But yeah, I don't have to give him an inflated wage. I don't have to pay off his agent. I don't have to make all of those expenses because I could just not give him a new contract and not really worry about it because I know he's going to go. And that's the case with a few other players as well. Right, Vachka is staying, so shush. Oh no, I don't want Maka going to bloody Arsenal. Go to Barcelona, you dingus. Yeah, this is what I hate when I've got either had my own players for a long time or, for instance, kind of sold good players and they've gone on to develop to be the good players that they are. And then other people buy them. And it's like, oh, you were never intended to be used against me, you evil swine. Okay, choose the captain. So they reckon Juan Arrilaga. I thought, statistically, if we look at the old tactics, he's about the best. So I could make him the club captain. And then obviously Pogba is down the list, but he's still, kind of up there and will play more consistently, probably. But I don't love making a striker captain, but we've not got a load of standout. I mean, him and Vladimiros, he's a kind of flighty centre attacking midfielder, so I don't think much of him either. One-Ton Gil would be good, but his determination isn't brilliant. Adolfo is very, not very captainly. So Pogba is kind of, Pogba and Saul maybe would be the standout. Best of the rest, I don't want to go down to 13. That's a bit depressing. But I'll just order my support captains in such a way that we always have a decent captain on the field. I'll make Arrilaga captain and Paul Pogba vice. Hopefully the players are happy about that because obviously statistically he's good. They're all just happy about bonuses, for God's sake. Oh, delighted with the appointment of Juan Arrilaga. Good stuff. Does it say what they're happy about? No. Okay. I hope everyone's delighted with Juan Arrilaga, so that's really good. He's delighted he got to captain the last match, even though he wants a new challenge. Well, that's why I'm not making him captain, because you're a bit flighty, mate. Okay, everyone's happy with Juan Arrilaga. Happy old days. Just for a cup final, that could have gone horribly. Yeah, we're gonna win. Yeah, we're gonna win. Yeah, we're gonna win. Okay, that was a really easy press conference. I hope I didn't actually say anything stupid. That would be fairly typical. Whoa, Ibanez speaks out against his manager. That better not be me. Better be your current manager, not your former manager. Ibanez, you absolute swine. I do want to check that. Is that checkable? See Montano. He used to play for me. Oh yeah, the Euros Cup final was a funny affair of just like, just how many players can there be? No. Okay, not finding out. Anyway, Kevin Sullivan. Wow, he is not worth that amount of money, Everton, you idiots. Yeah, so let's. Oh, should I try and find the Euros? Can't find it. I don't know what it would be called properly. European. Yeah, I want the European Championship. I don't want the under 19 version. Is there a? Can I? Yes. Is that? What? Okay, I'm confused. Oh Lord. Yeah, there we go. That did actually work. So I will just count how many have a link to Anfield, either because I own them or I used to own them and sold them. So England team are going 1, 1, 2, 3. Any more for any more? No, well, because all these guys are rubbish, that's fine. On the Spanish side, what was it? So it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Any more? 4 any more? 10, 11. So of the squads in this final, I have contact points with 11 players, and obviously I've kept the best of them for myself because that's how I roll. Vachka. Okay, I'm gonna have to put a reject all offers on Vachka because I'm getting annoyed. Mazzini tempted by Bayern. See, he's won his initial scoutings, even though they're not included anymore. He was wildly consistent. He was injury prone, and he's flogged all of them off and done really well with Genoa. Genoa. But yeah, he's quite good. But he's very kind of bulldozery striker. I don't mind those, but yeah, okay, right. Charging onwards. Frank Martin has signed a professional contract, so let's make him available for loan. Let's see what happens there. Oh, well, he's not going to be that good, probably, so it's fine. So Genoa have been taken over by a very rich person, and they have spent money accordingly, and they won the Serie A last season, and they must have won the Euro Cup as well. So they're not to be trifled with squad-wise. I'm going to wait and see who they're actually playing before I adjust my tactics. Of course, Wesley is still off, so just as well we have a second world-class goalkeeper. Everyone else is still on their various international travels, so that's the back three, no problem. Yeah, I'm happy with that. So again, international duty restricting what's going on here. Everybody's fit and fighting and stuff, so happy with that. Yeah, everyone's fit, and one last one for the strikers. So Tolnik and Origi played excellently, so can't really complain about that. Cool. Okay, let's get this show on the road. So what does Marcio Mateus say? He said he can't look beyond Liverpool, and apparently Genoa are missing some players, so that's good. Absence of Wesley, fantastic squad. There you go. Let's have a little looky at their players. Serafino, I know, is decent. I also thought his contract was expiring. Oh, he signed a new one. Good lad. Renat Ferrati is fine. Let's not bother closing down his weak foot because he's both-footed. He's okay. Benassi is decent. Let's smash him about the pitch. Kingsley Coman, I know from my days in charge of France, he's good. Brian Pereira, I don't quite know where he's operating on the right wing because he's not a very good right winger. You can leave Muri alone. And yes, he has got real bad, so that's good. Happy with that. Who have they got off the bench? Grosso is poor. Bertrand Traore is, pretty poor, but let's close him down anyway, just in case. Mohamed Mabrouk is rubbish. Ricardo Urso is rubbish. Luka Zuka, that's good. And Giovanni Ferri. Wow, their bench are really poor. That's fine then. Right. Yeah, bring back the trophy. How about that? Here we go. Here we go. Hopefully to our second trophy. Oh. I do write these songs myself, just in case anybody's in any doubt. Tall Nick using his ridiculous height, and Origi using his ridiculous goal-scoring power to score within 30 seconds. It's a good sign. It's a good old sign. So the season opener, doing well. Not struggling anyway. Cool. Right, let's just keep powering on then, lads. 6 minutes in, what can we do? Let's see. Origi hits the post. Very nice. Oh, goodness me. Because I'm a little bit ill, I'm quite tired as well. This is not, it's not the sort of time of day that one should be tired, but I pretty much am, I'm not going to lie. Oh, Tornik cleanly goes through him, but then, yeah, kick the ball off the pitch. Right, what are we doing here? It seems like if they're going to get a goal, it's going to be a pretty good break. Don't back off him, 26. Why have you gone so far? Anyway, doesn't matter. Am I having a bit of possession? That's not bad. Or a long shot, I should say. Touch wood. Righty-ho. So I like to think that I have streamlined the squad even more this time. I know what works. I've got my succession planning in place. Obviously, as you will know, that I've sold a lot of players, but I've really not sold too many, and I won't leave the squad too short. And will at the same time give youngsters lots of games so they become the next generation of awesome players. Oh, Nicholas Sewell hanging about in the area. Excellent stuff. 40 minutes. They've not had a shot on target. Very happy with that. I think Sewell is maybe someone I could have out of the team. Like, I've got players who are his equivalent now and younger than him and on less money. But I like him a lot. He's a consistent player for me, and he's a man mountain who's really quick as well. So I value that. He's a good lad. Oh, that was a good chance for Origi. And it looks like we're not letting him have an easy ride by any means. They've not had a shot on target. Good. Happy with that. Wonton Gill is the man solely in charge of throw-ins. Oh, 2 shots from an angle there. Milton got his one saved. Origi, of course, scores his because he's a goal-scoring machine. Now you can see why I liked Catalin Dogaru, because he was basically the same as him, but a bit worse. But Origi is the one and only. Right, you may be winning, but don't let it drop. Okay, calm. You weren't that bad, but I still believe in you. 3-0 up, but you weren't that bad. I'm essentially gaslighting my entire squad most of the time, apart from when they win cup finals. And I say they did really well. Aha, Pogba's done. But is it worth? I don't think it's worth bringing Hoyos. So Vachka, who I think I've been training for the defensive midfield position. Okay. So he really needs to get quicker. My God. He can play here because I can't be bothered to reverse the positions. So he's just going to play in defensive midfield. Hopefully we'll see a fair bit of the ball and be able to work on his passing and stuff like that. So that would be nice. Right, after this game. Ooh. Again, another yawn. My apologies. I'm not that well of a man. But I am still an FM guy. But yeah, after this game, I've got only a few funny names that I accidentally left them off last time. I didn't scroll up to the top of the page of funny names, so there's a few left over. But by the look of it, I won't need an immense amount of cheering up, so that should be fine. We'll polish that off, polish off the video, start with two trophies in 2 outings in the 2 start of the season games. The curtain well and truly raised. The era of Liverpool. Whoa, Vachka, all right, mate. The era of Liverpool well and truly continuing. One day I will reach the top of the reputation table of clubs who, despite kind of a massive amount of success, we sit, I think it's like 5th or something. You've still got the big burly giants of see, Tolnick not playing well in this game, and he's a bit tired, so I'm going to take him off. Esparza can come on, good lad. Anyone else? No, I'll make up one in a bit. Esparza, who has incidentally been on fire in pre-season because everyone else was on international duty, so they were already pretty fit. Because it was the Euros, obviously our Argentinian and Brazilian lads were not, so they featured a lot in pre-season. Oh man, I completely forgot what I was saying now. Sod. Oh yeah. The big reputation clubs are still Barcelona, still Real Madrid, still Bayern. I think they are officially 5-star teams within world football, and then the rest of us lot sit on 4.5 unhappily. Right, anyone particular I want to bring on? Probably Heskey because he hasn't had a run out yet. Let's take off. Let's take off Milton. Oh, that's actually a bad idea because I forgot that Heskey doesn't play on the left wing. So let's take off Vladimiros. So Memphis goes to the left, Milton goes to the middle. I might need to train Heskey to also play left wing. I was so busy training him to be an out-and-out striker, I denied the amazingness that he could be on the wing, because he is brilliant. He gets so many assists. God, wow, we really crowded him out. That was embarrassing. Go on, Esparza. Oh, I mean, in pre-season he was doing a lot of close in the box, kind of fox in the box sort of things with his unbelievable finishing. Much like Origi, he's like a bit slower Origi, basically. Which is good to have in the team, and he's 2-footed, which adds a new dimension, especially in the box, tight situations. I've seen the 2-footedness of players can really be advantageous. It seems like they've gone to 2 up front now with Pereira, who was playing on the right wing, and I thought, why is he playing on the right wing? He's gone up front by the look of it, and I'm chill with that, Oh, Milton, those are the kind of goals you should be scoring, mate. He's got wild amounts of ability. Right, Esparza. Can we get the ball in? One-time kill. Esparza again. No. Can we get it back? Vachka. No, Vachka misses it. Traore now. Oh, he got a lot further than I would want. But they've still not had a shot on target, and it's 84 minutes now, guys. Right, players are a little bit knacked. I haven't played 2 games in 1 week. I've also got Man City as the Premier League season opener. So hopefully the powers of recovery will be such that they can cope, or at least maybe I'll have some international breaks finishing. I don't know what they're up to actually. I don't know what they're even playing. Heskey crosses it in, and that is that. So it was all decided in the first half, really. Very happy with that result and the way he played. Assists from One-Time Gill, from Memphis and from Milton. Great stuff. Divock Origi scored the goal, and then the other was Soul. Right, very happy. Can I cheer anyone else up? No, by the look of it, fine. What about, can I cheer Origi up? Yeah, there we go. Me and Divock, we're mates. Excuse me, sorry. So, right, excellent. Oh, was this a mistake? No, it's fine. So we do the double already. Minutes into the season, it seems. Pogba's gone out, but that is a good test of my succession planning, so I'm not too unhappy. Right, okay, fans happy. Yeah, great start. He was fine. Very pleased with Origi. There we go. Got a couple of million. Put that in the bank. Yeah, I wonder how much interest we're getting off the stuff we've got in the bank. We keep paying into reserve investment funds, and I don't know why we're doing that. But Origi was very, very good. I'm going to praise him up a little bit because it's a good start to the season. You were great in front of goal. Good old lad. Right, let's have a little look at the funny names. I'm not sure if we can find. There'll be few and far between. These are mostly guys that I'm signing. Magic Boots was he was on the episode last time. His name is Wellington Aparecido, which means appearing. Right, come on, let's find these guys that got left out last time. There they are. Christoph Flies. Flies, the damn flies. Hugh Misbah. Hugh Misbah. It's funny. And Matthias Eggersschluss. No, Eggersglus, because that is a double S. So Eggersglus, which is, I mean, that is funny. I wish he was world class. Any more for any more? I don't think so. I think these are just people. But yeah, so on that note, I guess we are already looking at 2 competition wins. So that's very jolly good. Of course, the board don't give a flying monkeys. 60% I get for dominating in that, and I mean that will be what, 50%, 55%. God, they don't get me. They don't get me, guys. Bloody board. Sack the board, I say. But yeah, so there we are. We'll kick off the Premier League next, later this week, in fact, and then lots of fun for the rest of the season. But on that note, I will bid you adieu. I hope you enjoyed the curtain raiser, and I hope to be raising hell for the rest of the season. Bye.